Looking and sounding great, mastering delivery skills. Hello, my name is Antony P, and welcome to this video brought to you by the Center for Academic Literacy here at NTNU. The previous lesson in this series, Lesson 6, discussed tactics and techniques for engaging the audience during a presentation and approaches for handling questions and interactive discussions effectively. This is Lesson 7 on how to engage with your audience. This lesson has two main sections. Section 1, developing effective body language and gestures during a presentation. And Section 2, enhancing vocal delivery through tone, pace, and emphasis. All right, let's go. Section 1, developing effective body language and gestures during a presentation. Good sleep is essential for overall health and well-being, as it plays a crucial role in supporting physical, mental, and emotional quality of sleep. On one hand, you have a presenter that is standing very still, and on the other, you have a presenter that uses his body to physically express and represent the words he is saying. Here is how I develop effective body language. First, I draft my presentation script. Then, I identify words in the script that are easily expressed physically. These words are often numbers, lists, verbs, and sometimes nouns. Lastly, I practice acting out those body movements before my presentation. Let's look at this example text again. In the first part of the sentence, I see health and well-being. This is a great chance to put an arm out to the right and an arm out to the left to show two options. Then we see physical, mental, and emotional health. These are also great words that we can act out with our bodies. For physical, flex a muscle. For mental, point to your brain. For emotional, you can put a hand on your heart. Effective body language is a great way for a presenter to engage their audience and emphasize certain points. For more inspiration, watch other presenters carefully. Take note on when they effectively use their body during a presentation and utilize those movements in your own presentation. Section 2, enhancing vocal delivery through pace, tone, and emphasis. Engaging presenters speak with natural pace, tone, and emphasis. Speaking with natural pace, tone, and emphasis makes your presentation easier to understand and makes your presentation more engaging. Pace, tone, and emphasis are also so critical that the meaning of your sentences can literally change depending on how you say them. For example, let's eat, Grandma, and let's eat, Grandma. See? Big difference. So, let's learn about pace, tone, and emphasis. Then, we will discuss some strategies you can use to improve your pace, tone, and emphasis. Here is our example text. First, I am going to read this text with no change in pace, tone, or emphasis. Then, I will discuss each of these individually and add them to the sample text one at a time. Change is hard. People naturally resist change, especially when it's forced on them. Unfortunately, companies make change even harder and more exhausting for their employees than it needs to be. First of all, leaders often wait too long to act. As a result, everything is happening in crisis mode. Right? Bad. Let's first talk about pace. Pace is the speed and rhythm of speaking. When speaking, take brief pauses after periods and commas, and after critical points. Pauses enable your audience to digest and understand your critical points better. Additionally, you can increase your speaking pace during easy-to-understand sentences and slow down during challenging sentences, or those with critical points. Now, I will speak this text with good pace, but with no tone or emphasis. Change is hard. People naturally resist change, especially when it's forced on them. Unfortunately, companies make change even harder and more exhausting for their employees than it needs to be. First of all, leaders often wait too long to act. As a result, everything is happening in crisis mode. That's a big improvement, but we can make it even better. Let's talk about tone. Tone represents the mood or emotion or atmosphere of speaking. Tones can be cheerful, formal, enthusiastic, sarcastic, or serious. Changing tone throughout a presentation helps the audience know what kind of information you are presenting, like encouraging or concerning findings. Now, I will speak about this text with appropriate pace and tones, but with no emphasis. Change is hard. People naturally resist change, especially when it's forced on them. Unfortunately, companies make change even harder and more exhausting for their employees than it needs to be. First of all, leaders often wait too long to act. As a result, everything is happening in crisis mode. This is a big improvement, but we can make it even better still. Let's talk about emphasis. Emphasis refers to the act of giving particular importance, prominence, or stress to certain words or phrases. Emphasis is used to highlight key points, clarify meaning, or draw attention to specific information within a message. Speakers can emphasize words or phrases by altering their pace and tone, and by increasing or decreasing volume. Now, I will speak this text again with appropriate pace, tones, and emphasis. Change is hard. People naturally resist change, especially when it's forced on them. Unfortunately, companies make change even harder and more exhausting for their employees than it needs to be. First of all, leaders often wait too long to act. As a result, everything is happening in crisis mode. Can you feel the improvements once we added appropriate pace, tone, and emphasis? Now it's your turn to practice. Here are 4 tips on how you can improve your pace, tone, and emphasis. Tip 1. Listen carefully to native English speakers. Watch presentations online, watch TV shows, listen to podcasts. Notice how the speakers alter their pace, tone, and emphasis throughout their presentation. Tip 2. Repeat and copy their pace, tone, and emphasis. Practice saying what they say exactly how they say it. This works best if you watch a video that you can rewind easily so that you can practice the same sentence a few times until you get them right. Fun fact, this style of copying is how all of us learned our native languages as children. Tip 3. Learn to use and recognize English's 4 tonal patterns. English typically uses 4 main tonal patterns: rising, falling, falling, and falling, rising. Pay close attention to how native speakers use these patterns in different contexts. For example, rising intonation is often used in questions like, "What did you say?" And falling intonation typically indicates statements like that. Tip 4. Practice, practice, practice. Mastering a language is like mastering a sport. Practice makes perfect. Find language partners, tutors, discussion groups, or anything that gets you speaking. I once met an English learner while playing an online video game. They used the game as an opportunity to practice speaking. Again, my name is Antony P. from the Center for Academic Literacy here at NTNU. Thanks for watching. In this video, we learned how to develop effective body language and gestures during a presentation, and learned how to enhance vocal delivery through pace, tone, and emphasis. The next video in this series is Lesson 8, Practice Makes Perfect, Rehearsal and Preparation. It focuses on the importance of rehearsal in delivering a successful presentation, and techniques for managing anxiety and building confidence, preparing for potential challenges and contingencies. I'll see you there.